PitchGrounders. It's 4 seconds in, and we are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube, and we are live on our PitchGround Facebook community. And we have a very special guest with us. He is the founder of Voxpower, a tool that can improve the conversions on your website. Guys, a tool that can add more functionality to your website, and people will start loving your website if you use this tool. But more on the tool later. I would like to introduce Simeon. He is the founder of Voxpower. And Simeon, this is your second webinar with PitchGround.
Yeah, hello PitchGrounders. It is the second webinar, so I have some experience and I already meet the community. So yeah, everything is normal. Nice to be here. Nice to talk again. So let's hope I'll give some interesting things and insights for you.
Guys, if you have seen in the group, Simeon has been really active, posting about the features that you want to see in Voxpower. And he's also implementing those features that you have voted in the PitchGround community. So guys, if you're interested into Voxpower, vote the features, and Simeon would love to bring those features live on the Voxpower tool. So regarding today's topic, it is about Google Analytics. And frankly, this is a topic that everyone, whether you're a marketer or whether you're a business owner, needs to know about, because Google Analytics is one of the most premier analytic tool in the world, and a ton of businesses, almost every blogger that I know of, uses Google Analytics to run his blog. And whether you're a business owner or whether you're a marketer, you need to use Google Analytics to make informed decisions. That is, decisions taken with data. Am I right, Simeon?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, analytics is a tool which is very interesting, very popular, and it is must-have for almost every website. So it is free also. So we need to know about this tool. We need to use it, and so for sure it is something very, very good. And every marketer, like you said, should know about it and should know how to use it. And yeah, I'm agree totally with you.
So guys, if you ever had any analytics doubt, if you ever thought Google Analytics is some weird dashboard with so much of data and graphs going around and this is so unpredictable, I don't know what to do, then type in yes. Because I was the person who kind of was blown away by the amount of overwhelming feedback and data on Google Analytics. And personally, it was confusing to me at the start. But if it is confusing to you right now, I want you to stay till the end of this webinar, because I want to make sure that you learn Google Analytics and how you can use Google Analytics to grow your business. And I want you to make sure you go home with all the answers regarding Google Analytics that you have got for all the questions that you have regarding Google Analytics. Guys, I want you to learn more about Google Analytics with Simeon, who is passionate about SEO, who is passionate about analytics. And you're going to see this in today's presentation, because this morning he sent me the presentation. I posted in the group, and honestly, I love the presentation. You're going to love it too. And so keep your questions regarding Google Analytics ready, because I want to make sure all your questions regarding Google Analytics are answered. So at any point of time during the presentation, you have a question, feel free to drop the question in the comment section down below, and we will answer all your questions. Simeon is here, who is going to answer all your questions. So
at least we will try.
I'm sure you're going to answer all these questions. Guys, if you're joining here for the first time, tell us where you're from. And if you're joining here, tell us which webinar. I know we conduct a lot of webinars. It's difficult to keep a track which webinar is this that you're attending from PitchGround. So I'm here in India. It's raining outside. I don't know if you can hear the voice of the rain. Simeon is from Bulgaria. So if you're from any other country other than the US, good evening. And if you're from the US, Good morning. So, where are you from? I'm from India. Simeon's from Bulgaria. Where are you from? Tell us in the comment section down below. So, Simeon, when did you first get introduced to Google Analytics?
I start to use Google Analytics from maybe 5 or 6 years from now in the past. So I've used in many websites. So I take a look of very big websites using analytics. I also try different solutions because it is good to take a look of some other approaches to measure traffic. So I am also I have some experience with log analysis and so on. So I have the full picture of how the things work, because analytics is just a part of measuring all the things, and it is really incredible tool which is very powerful. It has a lot of reports, and to be honest, it is difficult to know every report because you have more than 70 reports, for example. But on top of that, you can also add your custom reports customized to suit your needs, and it's become really large, and which is which is very important in my opinion. Today I will share a Google Data Studio template which will help you basically understand with proper and clear numbers what is happening in your website without going even to analytics. Just connect the two tools, and it will give you the insights without spending too much time and without lost in the reports, which is time saver.
Indeed. So, guys, if you stick till the end of this presentation, everyone who's watching this webinar right now is going to take away a Data Studio template that will help you, make things easier for you in terms of traffic and measuring the analytics of your website. So, Simeon, are there any alternatives to Google Analytics that we should really consider?
To have, sorry, what?
Are there any alternatives to Google Analytics that we should look at or something?
Yeah, Yandex Metrica is a tool which is basically come from Yandex, and it is very powerful also. So I use also with some of the websites, I use Yandex Metrica also because it can give you some additional information. And the difference between Google Analytics and Yandex Metrica, the main key difference is that if you use a very big website, Google Analytics will restrict your traffic because they use a segmentation and they can aggregate your data. But it's not the true in Yandex Metrica because there it is free no matter what is the traffic. So it is one of the tools which can help measure a very big websites. And the other competitor which is very good to observe is Matomo. It is open source library which you can basically hold your data on your servers, because it is not the true in Google Analytics and you have the data on Google servers. But if you use this tool, you have the data on your own server and you own the data basically.
So, okay. Yeah, that's interesting. So today we are here to learn about Google Analytics. For people who are joining in right now, we have Simeon with us, who is the founder of VoxPow. And VoxPow is a tool, if you don't know, if you haven't checked it out, I would highly suggest check it out after this presentation, because we have some ton of value to everyone who's watching this right now. We have a ton of value regarding Google Analytics. So Simeon, I think you're also going to show after this presentation of how about the analytics and the new features of VoxPow, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we release a poll in the group, so everyone voted, and there is a winner in the futures, and it was a quick win. So we implemented it already, and yeah, I'll show it at the end of the presentation. Awesome. So yeah, basically, if you have any ideas, even they are hard to implement, please share with me, because everything is possible and we can do this. I'm almost sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So people, I will need your comments down below. Where are you joining this webinar from? Which country are you watching this from? I want to know, and the time that you're tuning this from. Because here it's around 7:20 p.m. in India. And what's the time in Bulgaria, Simeon?
It is 5 p.m. So it will get dark soon.
5 p.m. So that's 2 hours. That's 2 hours before the Indian time. But
Yeah.
where are you joining us from? Tell us in the comment section down below. Before we begin this awesome presentation that we have planned for you guys. So Simeon, can you tell us before we get on with the analytics, and I'm sure the presentation as we have observed in the morning, it's awesome. Before we get on with the presentation, can you tell us a little bit about the team regarding Voxpa?
Yeah, so the team is small and we are more focused on every task we have. So it is still small team and we are not so busy at all with a lot of part things like not so important to do. We are doing all the important tasks currently and not focus on the left. So yeah, let's hope it will grow, and everyone is here from Bulgaria, and yeah, everything is normal working in the situation of COVID. Here it is now not so hard usually, but let's hope it will stay like this and everything will be normal. But yeah, everything is good.
Let's be positive. I'm like an optimist. So yes, things are going to become normal. Everyone's business are starting up. They're getting back up, and this is such an awesome sight to see. Many businesses had to shut down, unfortunately, but I can see a recovery. People are just coming back to their normal lives, and this is such an awesome sight to see. So people are joining in from Canada at 8 a.m. Good morning.
Good morning.
I never remembered attending a webinar at 8 a.m. So kudos. Thank you for joining this webinar. But I want to, so we are here to offer you a ton of value, and you're going to go home and I like after an hour with a ton of value in your brain. I'm definitely sure of that if you're joining in the morning. So yes. So Simeon, I think that's enough talking between us. Yeah. People are all ready for the webinar. So guys, if you're ready for the webinar, just type in GA, that's Google Analytics. Just comment GA and Simeon will share his screen with you right now. Are you ready for today's webinar on Google Analytics and how you can use Google Analytics to grow your business? Just type in GA and Simeon will show his screen and present you the presentation for today that we have planned. So we've been receiving comments. We are around 15 people on the live right now. It's just numbers just increasing. So yes, GA, Jason, thank you for joining this webinar. I've seen you in our previous webinars as well. Huge shout out to Jason, who is an amazing LTD buyer and a part of our PitchGround community. Jason, we love you. So yes, there are many comments coming in. So Simeon, I'm going to let you share your screen right now, and you can go to the presentation.
Okay. It should be fine now. Do you see the screen?
Yes. You can change the tab. So yes.
Everything's good?
Perfect. Guys, can you see the presentation? Tell us by dropping an emoji or something. Or keep tapping the hearts button on Facebook, because we love all the hearts. Who doesn't love hearts? Come on. So show us some love, and while we present you the Google Analytics to improve your business, and I'm going to vanish. Simeon, over to you. You're on the stage right now.
Okay. Yeah, so you already know that today's topic is using Google Analytics to improve your business. And we already said something like an introduction to Google Analytics. What we will talk about in the next 20, 30 or 40 minutes, for sure, we need to cover what is Google Analytics, because there is some people who probably heard for first time, or even they heard for some small amount of features which Google Analytics could provide. So we'll explain a little story for Google Analytics, how they become the tool which they are now. We will cover also the important sections which we have in Google Analytics, because every section there is really important. And if you don't know exactly what you can find here in the section, you can just remember what the section mean to have inside it. So it's just the section which is important to know what you need to find out in your Google Analytics account. And at the end, I'll provide the Google Data Studio template. Google Data Studio is a tool which you can basically connect the different sources of information, or you can just visualize information from a specific source. So we are just using this to visualize the information from Google Analytics in that case. So you will see it is a tool, a template, which you can just open, connect with your analytics without any troubles, and you will see the information from your analytics in this Google Data Studio template, and you can play around with proper numbers, and you can just see what is good and what is not so good in your website. It can give you a really quick look what is happening, because you know that Google Analytics is a really massive tool, and it has a lot of reports, and it is impossible to know and to use all the reports which it provides. So it is good, it saves a lot of time if you use such a template or a custom dashboard. This webinar will be mainly for in the beginning level and the intermediate level. In the next webinar, we will talk about Google Data Studio, Google Tag Manager, and more advanced things which you can perform in your website. So keep this information in your mind that the next webinar will be for Tag Manager, which is something like a very powerful tool which can be added on the top of your website, and you can use it and combine with Google Analytics for sending events and for advanced tracking techniques. So it is really important to know the two main tools for measuring what your customers are performing on your website. So that is the content which we will cover today. About me, I'm Simeon, like you already know. I'm the founder of Voxpo, have a lot of experience with programming. I'm very interested in data, machine learning, and so on, advanced techniques for getting data, for analyzing data, and so on. And I have some experience in marketing sphere, and that's why I spent a lot of time for looking in Google Analytics, and that's why I can spoke on that theme. So we can begin. What is Google Analytics? In a nutshell, Google Analytics is a service which is provided by Google, and we can use this tool to measure and get insight from our customers and visitors to our website, and see basically what they are doing into the website. So we can just see what they are performing with our website, and it is from our side to take insights what we need to do in order to make the customers happy. So basically, it is a service provided from Google to help measure our online traffic. It is crucial to understand that it measures the visitors of our website, which are real humans, let's say, because it is powered by JavaScript. So, for example, if a person comes to our website, in order Google Analytics to be triggered, it needs to load the JavaScript libraries, which are most of the time enabled in browsers. So if you have a lot of bots, which are normal bots, not rendering JavaScript, you will not see those information in Google Analytics. It is good to know that not everything you see in Google Analytics is all your traffic. So analytics is important from the information that you can get from the data. So like you see on my screen, the first thing is data. So everything starts with the data, but it is not the important thing you need to care about. You need the insights, and Google Analytics is the tool which can bring this data into insights with your help. So it will not give you the full insight. You need to take in consideration the data, perform an analysis, and extract information. So information is the thing you need to get the insight. So what analytics is used for? So it can provide metrics about your visitors and how they spend their time on your website. It gives you also the tools to segment and analyze your data. So for example, you can perform an additional segmentation to see what they're from where they're coming from and what they're doing on your website. And basically it helps you to ask the right questions. It is the tool to show you the data and to make it on a good way in order to be understandable. But it is not suitable for some things. For example, it is not a good thing to report people names or IP addresses. It is usually possible you can add this information if you have it, for example, after login, but it is not designed for these operations usually. And yeah, it is not a tool which can provide you all answers for you. So you need to take a look of your data to make an analysis and to extract the information. That information could be after that transformed into insights. So it is just the tool to show you the information, and such templates or such additional tools like the Data Studio report will help you get the insights from your data, because the numbers are not all the time matter. So for example, I can give you an example. If you yesterday have 100 visitors to your website, but your online store and you don't have even one sale. So is that good, or that is something bad? You cannot tell. Usually you need a bigger interval and to measure, but usually the numbers are not the everything. So you need to get inside. You need a bigger period to measure and to see 100, for example, visitors, how many sales and how many contacts form are filled, and so on. So that is really important to understand that measuring one thing is not always the good thing. So you need first to define the KPI and the important metrics. So here we don't have image, sorry for that, but we have two links. It is a book which I recommend. There are two books. So if you want, you can spend more time to take a look of this. Let me check. The images are not loading. Okay. Are you here?
Yes.
Okay. Just to find my little images. I found it.
So are you trying to show a book?
Yeah, but the book is not so important. This is the most important thing. Yeah, so it is from some reason break the images. So yeah, what I want to show is that analytics come to a long way. It's become like a tool which basically measure the hits on your website, but just the hits. And it's become a long way in order to provide all the dashboards and provide all the tools we see currently in the analytics interface. So they was first start like a company which measured this information, and after that, after making the tool free and after some customers trying the product, they are now the state which we are currently could see. So like I said in the last sentence, the key is to measure the business goals, not only the clicks or not only the traffic. So the first thing you need to think about is to define the business goals which are important for you. So for example, for e-commerce website, it could be the sales. For informational website or blog post, it could be, for example, the reading of your blog post and the time spent on your website. So everything should start with defining the business goals which are important for you. For example, if you have affiliate websites, the important thing should be the measuring the affiliate clicks and so on. So defining the business goals are the key to measure your online presence. So if you have a website which you can provide phone calls, it is good to measure this. So if you even have a little small phone in the footer or in the header, it is good, and there is a ways to measure these clicks on these phone calls. So everything could be measured, and everything should start in defining what is more important to your business. And after that, you need to perform an implementation on all these things you need to measure on your website. So it can be done in Google Analytics, and it can be combined with Google Tag Manager for more specific and more hard to catch things. So for example, if you want to measure clicks to some button or to something special, you need an additional layer which can give you the possibility to track these clicks. So Google Tag Manager could come in this place and help you with that. So Google Analytics is the world leader in analytics, and a lot of websites already run Google Analytics, and there are more than 10 million, and 84% of the website traffic is measured by Google Analytics. It is a research, and this is the new numbers. When I have a presentation last year, this number was 82. So the traffic, which is measured by Google Analytics, is really increasing, and the tools is getting really popular as it is free, and is constantly improving, and it adds a lot of new features every time. So it is really good to take a look, to spend some time, and to find out how it can be implemented and what else you could do in your website with Google Analytics. And like I said, it is the world leader. There is other tools like Yandex Metrica. It is a tool coming from Yandex, and it is really shining with the heat maps where you can see how exactly users are clicking to your website and different parts of your page. That's where Yandex Metrica is really, really good. And the other thing is where you can measure really big websites, because in analytics you have a limit, and that limit, it will not at all cut your analytics tracking, but it will ask you to become Google Analytics premium partner, Google Analytics 360, which is the paid service, which is for very big websites. And usually there is other alternatives. It is Matomo. It is a tool for getting the data in your own servers, because a lot of big customers, I heard that they don't want to keep their data in tools which are not owned by them. So there is an alternative for storing the data on your servers, and that is something customers also use. So Google Analytics is the leader, and because it performs a lot of free tools, and it performs really well, and it can give you additional things like segmentation, which is something very important to have and to know about it. And it can give you the path analysis. So basically you can see from where your customers are coming and what actions and what paths they're following. So you can see where they're clicking and what they are doing basically on your website. And the information is aggregated. So basically, like I said in the first slides, you will not see the customer's name and customer's IPs, and that's not the purpose of Google Analytics. The purpose is to show you the statistic data, which is aggregated, and you can use it to extract information and to get insight from this information. So if you are a marketing agency or you still not sure why you need to adopt Google Analytics, I could say that if you don't adopt Google Analytics, you are making something like flying blind. You don't know what is happening exactly. You don't know what to perform in order to improve marketing performance, and you don't know exactly what is happening to your website. There is cases which customers don't want to adopt Google Analytics. For example, I have some people talk to me that they don't want because they are sharing the data with Google, and then they don't want to do that. So it is a use case which is possible. But usually Google Analytics is very good, and it can be customized for your specific sites. So it is not a tool which can be too broad, and it is everyone use it. You can use it still, but you can adapt it to your specific website. So you can add events tracking, you can add goals, and you can customize your own dashboard inside Google Analytics. You can also use the segments on the way you want it. So it is really customizable, and you can adapt it for your specific site. And yeah, the adoption is really easy. It is installed in little code snippet, and it is start measuring the traffic starting from very first installation if it is doing right. So you can install it, and after 1 second you can confirm it is installed, and it's already measured traffic. And the last one, it is free. There is alternatives which are offering similar things, but they are not free. Google Analytics is a good beginning if you don't have any very large and specific plans, but it is free. You can use it, and you can very easy start with it. So the adoption is worth it. And the important question is how you can include Google Analytics in your business. There is a strategy which needs to be followed, because just installing a Google Analytics in your website will basically give you the traffic information. So you will see how many visitors you have from yesterday, how many visitors you have last month. But the most important is, like I said, the insights you'll get from this information. So what could be an example of insight? Example could be if this organic traffic is rising or it is dropping, or for example, if I have a drop in my website traffic, from which channel it is coming from. It is a drop from organic search, or I just pause my Facebook advertising, or it is. And the opposite example, if I have an increase in the traffic, what is the reason for this? Is it the reason that a lot of people started to come from a blog somewhere when someone makes an article for our website, and so on? So the use cases are very broad. You can have a lot of examples why it is important, but getting the insight is the most important, because doing the flying blind is not the good thing, because you just see the traffic is increased, but you cannot perform some actions to this, or if it is drop, you cannot identify the root cause and remove it. So audit and strategy. Before implement, you need to think about what is your business goals, defining your KPIs. So it depends on the website. So if you have an e-commerce store, you can for sure need to track sales, and you need to implement e-commerce tracking. It is really crucial to know how much every channel is contributing in order for your sales, and where they are coming from, and so on. So defining your business goals are really important. E-commerce means sales, means sending contacts forms. You can also measure returns to your goods, and you can measure for sure add to cart buttons, add to favorite buttons. You should measure also clicks on phone if you have such, and it is the beginning. So you first need to identify your business goals and what you want to achieve. After that, you need to implement and customize. If you want to implement it, one of the good tools which it is need to use, for example, for clicking on some buttons, is Google Tag Manager. So you need to take a look of this tool if you want to set up an advanced tracking of events. It is also free. It is also provided by Google, and I will show in next webinar how we could do that in practice. So how we can measure and implement Google Tag Manager snippets and events basically. And the third step is analysis and insights. So you need to analyze and on ongoing basis to generate important insights, what is happening in order to improve your performance. So you need to take a look what basically is happening. Is your traffic rise or down, and need to perform your analysis, and not also your traffic, but how your KPI are performing. So if you have this store, like I said, is the sales are increasing, and what is the reason for this? Which ads are more effective, and which ads are not so effective and can be cut down. So it is really crucial to improve the business, to know what exactly every channel is helping to get the business goals done. For sure, every marketing channel is contributing and helps the other. So for example, if you run Google Ads, it can help, for example, in the other channels. So the channels are splitted in some ways, and they help each other. But it is crucial to know that and to track this in Google Analytics. And you need to repeat and iterate, because it is not one thing, it is a process. You need, like I said in the last webinar, like building the website, it's not only to improve the website on the 5 years gap. You need to continuous check what is happening and plan how to improve that. So it is important to repeat and iterate, to check if there is something new which you can define like KPI, key performance indicator, and if you have such event, you need to implement it. So it is important to continuously improve your analytics and measuring. So yeah, here let me find out something happens with this again. Yeah, I hope you are not hungry.
Not at all. I'm just like excited to know more about how we can actually use this and audit and etc. All the stuff. I've been like actively listening. And so,
Okay,
PitchGrounders, in the meantime, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section down below. And
yeah,
of course, I can also see a pizza you made. So
yeah,
now
yeah,
I think I'm getting hungry. But
yeah.
all right.
Yeah, it can be only showed here, so it is a small pizza for all you guys which are very hungry, not to be too mad. And yeah, it broke
Yeah.
for some reason. And yeah, the auditing strategy basically is to continuous and define the business goals and keep the marketing strategy, explore the unique elements of your website and implementation issues. So for example, in Google Analytics, you can identify some issues if you have on a website. For example, you see the bounce rate, aka the percentage of the people who leave your website without interaction. You can identify such places. I'll show you in the Google Data Studio report, and it can be very important to track this. And you need to make a plan and ongoing the optimization process and improve all the things you have in your analytics strategy. So here there is also a pizza, and the idea was for a pizza store which is basically performing a little campaign, sending emails, for example. It is just an example, but what's happening? You see the data in Google Analytics on such example, and what is important is to know how to read the numbers, because if you take a look, it is numbers which are, it could be confusing in the beginning. If you take a look, the sessions are almost the same. So they send two emails. The first one is campaign 1, the second one is email version 2, and they have equal sessions from each campaign. But here, what is the crucial and what you need to follow when you take a look of your analytics, it is the conversion rate, which is higher a little bit in the first campaign, and the per session goal value. So if you just see these numbers, they're increased, they're bigger in the email version 1. Even the sessions are the same. So that's mean to get the insight from the data, not just the data. And it could be not a big deal if you take a look, but if you get the calculations, so for example, this difference between the two campaigns could cost $400 per day, or $20,000 per month. So when you see the small numbers and multiply them by days and months, the things become bigger and bigger. So it is really important to read the numbers inside, and not only to take a look of the sessions and the traffic by itself. So yeah, we said a lot of things already, and we need to talk about repeat and iterate. So it is important to deliver insight and evaluate the changing needs and adjust the strategy, and after that, deliver the insights. Google Analytics, if you implement it right, it can become a revenue stream, and it can really improve your business. And it is a big deal to take a look and see how it can be improved, and how you can implement this and get more important insight from your business. So we are coming to more practical things. If you want to show you on the analytics, just let me know. But this is basically the account structure, which is common for almost all types. So basically, you have all the time account, property, and view. The views is basically what you are day to day looking in. So you have you can split your views in different. You can create basically some views, and you have a one default view, which is you can take a look in. You can create, for example, a view which is unfiltered. Basically, you don't add any filters in that view. You can add filter for organic or SEO traffic. You can call it like that. You can add also a view for some specific traffic. You can adapt it to these needs, and you can basically architect your structure whatever you want. But the important is to know that it is not good practice to create too many views. So you can create 1 or 2, maximum 3 views, in order not to waste too much time to take a look in the different view, because basically the view, like the name said, it is just the view and the overview of the data. So every view could look the data on a different angle, let's say. The property is basically where your website sits. So basically the property should be your website, and the account should be, if you have more than one website, you can organize them in different in one account. So you could have 5 websites in one account, and it could be easy for you to keep track. But you can also perform one website per account. It is up to you how you decide. What I prefer to do is to make an account for the company. So for example, if I have a software company, I perform an account with this name of the company, and every website is a different property. And in every property, in every website, basically we have 3 views: the unfiltered view, one default view where we can add a different filters. For example, I like the filter for full URL displaying. It is something something good. And I have a usually SEO view where I can monitor quickly the SEO traffic, but it's up to you, depends how you want to architect your account. Something very interesting in Google Analytics and something crucial is to know about dimensions and metrics. Dimensions and metrics are the key parts in Google Analytics, and you need to understand what they are exactly. So example of metrics, first let's say what's metric is in, let's say it is something we could measure and it have show with number. So it is easy to understand. And dimension could be the table representation. So in this example, if you see the dimensions are source medium, and it could be also the browser, the country, the operating system, the landing page the customers come. So it is basically something which is not defined with numbers and could be put it in table. So for example, you can take a look of this example. You see source medium, Google organic, and so on. In the other hand, the metrics is something you can measure, and examples of metrics could be clicks, impressions, sessions, time on site, and a lot of other things which could be measured in terms of numbers. So time of page and so on. It is really important to understand that you have these two separation. There is two things which in some cases are incompatible, and you need to only attach dimensions and metric which has sense basically, and you are not allowed to perform any type of crossing across these dimensions and metrics. So you need to think about what is important information and what is important for your business. So for example, the source medium compared with session is something useful. So you'll see from which source and from which medium, how many sessions you have, and how they perform basically in other reports. You can also check that. Let's find out what we have here. Yep, not this, but yeah, sorry for this, but nothing to do. Yeah, that's the picture. Yeah, so important here is that Google Analytics measure, I can show you here, it has a different steps of measuring. You have the interaction level, so basically someone interact with your page. You have also the event level. Someone is sending events to Google Analytics. Event could be pressing a button, subscribe to a given pop-up, or press close to a pop-up or something like this. And every of those are combined in page views. So we have also the page views. After that, the page views are made in sessions. So a lot of continuous page views combined in session. And every user is on top of that, and one user could have a lot of sessions. So it's very common question. If you see that users are more than sessions, something is not good with the installation and your setup. So you need to know about this. That's usually, and it is very logical, the sessions should be more than the users. And yeah, we have the picture. We could say that we have 4 important places in Google Analytics to follow: the audience, which can basically respond to your questions. Who are they? Who are your customers? Acquisition, it is the report where you can find how exactly your customers find your website. So basically answering the question how they find me. The behavior is what they are doing on my website, and the conversions, how much they worth to me. So this is the 4 main sections in Google Analytics, and depends to the question you have, you can go to each of those sections and find the report which is important for you. So for example, if you want to measure how they find you, how your marketing campaigns are performing, you should go in acquisition, because it will answer your questions, how did they find me? So you need to know about this, and if you want to spend some time to understand what they are doing in your website, you could open the behavior section to identify what is happening there. And we come into the interesting, I hope, part, which is more practical. It is the Google Data Studio template. Why is this so important, at least in my opinion? First, it is easy to use. It is just open one link, and it can be connected to your analytics. No special permissions needed, so you are not granting access to someone else. It is just in your browser and connecting directly to Google Analytics. Easy to understand, because Google Analytics could have a lot of reports. Some of them could be hard to understand, and it gives you fast insights what is happening. So it is in the presentation. We could maybe share the link somehow.
I'm going to share the link in the comment section down below, guys. I've already shared the link in the comment section down below. You can have a look at it and download it after this presentation is done. So, Simeon, I've already sent the link. So, can you take us through the Data Studio template?
Yeah, I can go through. So it is not something which is downloadable. So you can just open and you'll see it is loading like this. And what is happening inside? So basically, you could play around it. You just need to connect to your data source. So for example, if you want, I have a lot of websites, but you are just clicking one website which is depending to your Google Analytics. So you see your website here. Let's open website with more visits, because it will see the comparison between the sessions between, in that case, in the mobile and desktop traffic. And here you can get really quick insights what is happening. So for example, I open an example website, just connect it here. You could place here some period. So for example, last 28 days or something you prefer. So basically you have the filtering option, and you start seeing only the important metric. Here you have also the segmentation tool if you want, but for example, you can take a look of the sessions. You see the comparison in mobile versus desktop sessions. You see that 85% of your traffic is mobile, and what does it mean? You see on the right, I put some points. Those your websites are coming from mobile devices, and there is increase. And if there is such, like we see in this case, it is worth to perform the analysis of the mobile user experience. So on every step, it is very long template. I think we will not have time to cover all, but next to every metric and every measurement, there is a conclusion and things to consider seeing this metric. So for example, you can measure also the bounce rate, the people who leave the website without interaction, to check if the mobile bounce rate is significantly higher. And for example, it could give you the insight to reduce some problems or to find some problems in the responsive or mobile version, and also improve the performance. You could also check this for desktop. So for example, if the desktop is really high, so here it said that it is significantly high. If it is so, you need to perform some actions to see what is happening, because for example, the desktop version could also be a problem. You see the landing pages in this tab. It is the best pages code. So it is landing pages, basically where the customers are getting when they open the site. And you could also see the bounce rate and the sessions for every page you see. And here on the bottom left, you see the actions, what you could perform like an action in order to optimize your website to be more comfortable for users. So for example, actions could be the improvement of the mobile speed pages, the landing page UX, and other things like performing A/B tests with Google Optimize or some other similar tool. Something else which were to be mentioned is that here we have different other pages you can play around. So for example, the first page is for user acquisition. The second page is for improve user engagement. So you see here a different metric, which is, for example, the average session length. And the template is the same. So do users spend more time on mobile devices like desktop? You could see that in that case, the mobile devices is the mobile users spend a small amount of time in their sessions. So also the conclusions are here. You can check that here we have the opportunity to improve the engagement on mobile. And here we have also the pages view per session, and that means that you also have the opportunity to improve the user experience if you have fewer visitors viewed pages per sessions. Here in that case, we have a good metric, for example, because the mobile pages view per session are a little bit higher, or they're almost the same like in desktop. So the mobile experience should be good in that case. But if you here at your website, you could, for example, identify if you have some problems in that direction, and it is really 1 or 2 click, and you can give you the insight without spend too much time in analytics if you don't like or don't want to spend the time there. And here also the actions. You can improve the user experience for sure, the page speed, and also perform some A/B tests in order to identify if a small change could improve your customer experience on your website. Here, big notes. Here you need to it is the mobile session, the returning visitors. I mean, for the last tab, you need to have the e-commerce setting of your website. So basically, if you are e-commerce store, you need to have this set up in order to track the purchases. If you're running a content management system, it is most probably you have this like a plugin. But here we are in improving user attention on mobile devices. You can check the mobile versions versus returning and versus new visitors. So you see how the mobile sessions with returning and new visitors are performed in practice. And what could be here the opportunity? The opportunity could be to reconnect with your users which was in your were in your website. So it could be like in push notification or something else, which could you connect again with these customers. And really important, conversion rate on mobile. It is from e-commerce perspective. So this website has the e-commerce implemented. You'll see that the returning visitors are really important for you, because almost 2% of the returning visitors are performing purchases. So they're really important, and in that step, you need to make everything possible to engage and connect again with the visitors, with the new visitors, to transform them in returning visitor. And you can also see the actions, the push notifications, and some other tips for improving the user experience. And the goals here, if you have a funnel and different events set up in this website, we don't have this funnel set up, but it basically show whatever it is set to the specific website you are inspecting. So you are seeing the conversion rate in the e-commerce again perspective. You'll see that the conversion rate in mobile and in desktop, it is almost the same, but in desktop here it is less than the mobile, and you can also identify the numbers. So it is conversion rate. So we see that the traffic in the mobile is more, but it is a rate. So basically it is percent. So in that specific website, we can also check that the average purchase value is very big, and it is bigger basically in the desktop version. So it is almost true for all the websites. When the users are in desktop, they are more comfortable to perform bigger purchases. That's what the data says. And here we have also some improving actions. So basically it is adaptable for every website. You can just could see a different metrics and just need to spend some time to see what's happening. For example, in our website, we don't have e-commerce tracking, which is normal, and we don't have data here, but we could measure in this first step and perform some actions and see what is happening, which is the most visited pages, and so on. For example, if we are talking for our tool, for example, we could identify that available language is top 3 page visited. So it is really important, and the users look for these available languages, and they want to be sure that our tool, I now talk for our tool, is supported for their language. So their language is supported basically. So spending some time on Google Analytics could give you insights which are really crucial for improving your business, and that studio template helps you to make this very fast.
Interesting. So
Yep.
guys, you can access the Data Studio template as a as a bonus for attending this webinar with Voxpow. The template links have been distributed in the comment section down below, so they don't have to worry about copying from the screen, etc. So yes, it's in the comment section down below, and if you are unable to access it, and if you lost the link, you can always reach out to Team PitchGround or Team Voxpow, and we're going to give you the presentation link along with the Data Studio template. So in the meantime, right now, if you have any questions regarding the presentation which you just saw about Google Analytics, about Google Data Studio template that we have shown you, that you can access it for free, leave a comment section, leave a comment down below, and we will answer all your queries. We are here to answer any queries that you have regarding Google Analytics. So before we go into the Voxpower demo that's going to be shown by Simeon, and he's going to show you the new feature that we have actually implemented, that you guys have implemented it because you voted #1 for that feature. So before we get into the demo of Voxpower, any questions regarding Google Analytics, just let us know in the comment section down below. So Simeon, can you show us the new feature that the people have voted for in Voxpower?
Yeah, for sure. So the new feature, do you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, the new feature is this little pop-up here, which appears, and it is switchable. So if you don't want this, you just stay like that. And if you want it, you just need to press one button in the tracker settings. I'll show it right now. But you can write whatever you want here, and the idea here is to track user attention to this button, because I heard some opinions that it is not easy findable and the users cannot see this tracker. And having this, you can just continue use the tracker on the same way, but with this small pop-up, which is all the time showing. You can click it and talk to the website, speech, and it's work like the normal way with also the commands, pricing.
So you have implemented this on your blog section as well as, okay.
Yeah, the search here, because we need a search functionality to the website to work normal, is going into the blog section. You can search there. Also, we are planning in some weeks, we'll have it, a functionality for websites which don't have a web search in their websites. We have very small percent of this website, but I want to give the freedom and the ability of these customers also to use the tool. So basically, if you don't have the search functionality on your website, you have also the possibility to use it with a pop-up which will show and ask you what you want to do next. So it will be really interactive, and it is the next improvement maybe that we will implement. So we think for all cases, which is important for me and for customers for sure. So how you could enable this pop-up? You just need to go to your tracker, and here is the button, show little pop-up over the tracker to indicate interactivity. You can write whatever you want here, add emoji, so you can add some hearts and so on in order to be more visible and attractable for user. And if you want, you can also customize the cover and so on. Everything, it is customizable in order to be as much as possible suites to your website design. And yeah, that's the new feature. And something I didn't talk about recently and in the last webinar is the Google Analytics synchronization of Voxpol, because now we are talking for Google Analytics, and it's worth to mention that Voxpol can also send events to Google Analytics, and it is very easy to set up. So basically, it is just one button, like in this pop-up. So just tweak the button for Google Analytics, send events to Google Analytics, and when a user uses the voice search, you see this event in Google Analytics. So for example, we now use the voice search or voice command. If we go to a real time, we should notice here the events. You see that we perform event category is something like voice we have predefined, and we have voice actions, which are voice command and voice search. Which is even more interesting is that you could also see the labels by the words you said. So we said pricing, and we have it in analytics. We said voice search, and we have it also here. So it helps to keep track what your user are saying. If you don't want to spend time here, because we have also this here in the dashboard, you can see it also in analytics without the sentiment analysis, but it is a tool which you can use in our dashboard. So here you can just see how they use and if the customers use this functionality enough. And it is, I want for me to measure with this pop-up how the rate of using the widgets will increase, because for sure, if you have something which is pulse and it is attract visitor attention, it's for sure will have more usage. So I'll need to spend some time after 1 month or 2 to see how this usage of the widget will be improved and increased.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So PitchGrounders, there you saw a demo of Simeon actually talking to his website and saying the word pricing, which is taking him to the pricing page, and then saying the word voice or something, and then it's taking to the blog section of the website. So now you might have an e-commerce website, you might also have a blog or anything for that matter, and you can actually implement Voxpow on your website for better navigation. Guys, tomorrow we're gonna upload the interview with Simeon, and Simeon actually told me in the interview that that is his dream to see every website on this planet to have voice search functionality, and for that he wants you to use Voxpow because it makes it so simple to actually implement this on your website. And now we've actually shown you the Google Analytics integration. You just have to click one button, no fancy setups or no complex setups. You just have to click one button, and the Google Analytics will track all the events under the voice search section. And it will also show you what people are actually trying to search via their voice. So if just people are just playing with the voice search, etc., it's a new feature. They're of course going to try it out, test it out, and see how it works. You can implement it on your e-commerce website and just say the word. If you're a clothing brand, just say the word jeans, and it's going to take it to the jeans section. If they like a certain section of jeans, certain pair of jeans, all they have to do is say checkout, and that's it. The person directly lands into the checkout page. Guys, imagine the amount of conversions crazily that you're going to get just by adding this level of convenience to your users who's actually visiting your website. And that, my friends, is Voxpow, and how you can use Voxpow to improve your conversions. So isn't Voxpow an interesting tool? Guys, tell us in the comment section down below if you're happening to grab Voxpow, or are you willing to try out more features, etc. If you have any doubts regarding Voxpow, we are here to answer every single question. So guys, tell us, would you like a voice search command on your website down below, which users can actually use on both desktop, on a mobile as well? It's not going to be interrupting any of your content, and then they can actually do the voice command and go wherever they want in the website, navigate it very easily.
And something else I could add, if you want, is
Sure.
that they can also type with their voice. So for example, if they want to connect with us, they could try something like this. I want to type with voice. And yeah, that's it. Now I press the search, but if they just want to go here, typing with voice is awesome.
So it's like the Android typing feature, which I personally use when I'm really tired of replying to messages. So people can actually fill forms. We can also think of multiple use cases here, Simeon, which is going filling addresses if they're really long in the checkout pages. And if a person reads your article, he can actually command using voice like, hey, I loved your article, and etc. There are multiple use cases that people have that they can use right now. And the best part, it also integrates with your Google Analytics, and you can actually use what the user is actually searching on your website. Guys, you have all the control over the data, what people are searching for, and with this data, you can actually optimize your website to show the most important part, so to show the most searched part, and keep it in the home page, etc. Guys, a lot of use cases for an amazing tool like this. Google has actually implemented voice search because it values the user convenience that you can use. And you can also implement it on your website with Voxpow, which is now available on a lifetime deal. And guys, I welcome you to try out the tool. And if you don't like the tool, you can always reach out to us, me or Simeon, because I know this tool might not be for you or might not be for everyone. but you can always process a refund as well. There's nothing to lose. So I'd highly welcome you to try this tool out on your website. I want you to record yourself talking to your website and actually implementing and seeing the power of VoxPow live in action on your website. I welcome you to try it out, guys. And you always have the PitchGround guarantee, and we're going to process refunds. So within the 60 days, if you don't really like the tool, which I don't think so, because this is so funny. I mean, funny and new. Not actually funny, but it's, satisfying. Like, hey, check out. Hey, jeans. Hey, jacket. Hey, if I want to type anything, it just makes it so easy, so new that your users would actually want to try it out more and spend more time on your website. I would say this is an amazing tool. You can check it out in our comment section. If you have any, doubts regarding VoxPower, regarding the presentation which we had today about Google Analytics or the Google Data Studio template, which we just commented on the comment section, feel free to reach out to us. We are always here to answer all the questions that you have. So Simeon, what new features can we see in this tool?
Yeah, so it is a very interesting question. The first thing we need to implement for sure is the pop-up. You need to, if you don't have website search address, you can fall back to this pop-up. So basically, one approach should be talking to the website and not performing a search, but open a pop-up like a chatbot and say, you search for that. We can suggest you going to these sections. It is something which we are working, so it should be soon available. It is really cool, not only for websites which are don't have a search address, so it will be global improvement for all websites. And in the next few months, I want to make it available for more and more browsers. It is really hard to be available, for example, in Safari, because they have very strict protocols for the speech recognition, but it is possible, and we will do this in some months from now. So we are working hard in order even to make some things which sounds really hard to do, but we are working in a way to improve it. And yeah, we are in maybe 6 months. We need to add the API, which will be which become a tool not only for websites but also for embedded systems and also for desktop apps and so on. So it will become it will extrapolate and show our models and make them available in terms of API usage. So it will become true maybe in 6 or 7 months from now. So we have a huge plans for improving, and yeah, the websites are not all the places where I want to have the speech recognition. So we have the plan for these APIs, and they're really big.
So VoxPower isn't just going to be available on websites, it's just going to be available on multiple embedded systems as well. That's amazing. And guys, if you have any question regarding VoxPower, regarding the Google Analytics, or regarding the Data Studio template, before we end this webinar, in 2 minutes, you can leave it in the comment section down below. And we are here to answer all your questions. And we are also coming up with more webinars on Google Tag Manager, on technical SEO, and we're going to dive really deep into technical SEO. And we actually, we planned the name of the webinar as Welcome to Help. When we are so deep into technical SEO, that was Simeon's idea, by the way. So yeah. So yes, we have a ton of value webinars coming in on PitchGround page. So make sure you stay tuned to our announcements that we're going to be announcing on all our social media platforms, which is Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Now, before we end this webinar, I would like to tell the users who's watching this right now that the future is voice, and people are actually using it right now in terms of Alexas and Google Homes everywhere. The homes are going to become smart. We're already seeing smart homes. The bulb, which my friend uses, is actually a smart bulb. It changes colors when we actually say, Alexa, change the color, or Alexa, change the color to red or something. It actually changes in real time. And it's so fascinating to watch right now. But in future, it won't be fascinating because it's the new normal. It's going to be the new normal. Kids would start using Alexa, play this song. Alexa, play the rhymes. And there may be so many use cases for voice search. And this is the time that you have to jump into the voice search. By doing voice search in terms of SEO and adding more convenience to your website by implementing voice search and allowing people to use it real time by using a tool like Voxpower. So if you have any questions down below, you can leave us. You can always reach out to us. And Simeon, thank you for today's presentation.
No
PitchGrounders, thank you for joining today's webinar. Thank you for leaving all the hearts, all the likes on our presentation. And we have users joining from Twitch, on Facebook, on YouTube, every single where. So you can always reach out to us, Team Voxpower, Team PitchGround. We're always here to solve all your questions. And I hope, and we hope, that today's webinar was really useful and you learned something on Google Analytics. So if you joined it in the webinar in the middle, I would like to post the presentation link in the comment section down below, which you can use. You can refer the presentation and come back to us with any kind of doubts. The presentation link has been posted in the comment section down below. And we're going to take one last question from Jason. So Jason says, having Voxpower will help improve voice search in Google. So is there any relation between that and this?
Yeah, usually there is no strict relation between Google voice search and the search inside the website, but it should be improved the overall performance in Google because you give an additional way of customers to interact with your website. So if the voice search inside the website helps them to visit more pages and to spend more time and doing different stuff on the website. So if this helps for this one, it will also improve the positioning in Google because the user experience is one of the factors, and the user signals is one of the signals which Google takes in consideration. So it will not direct improve the positioning, but it could improve it in future. So,
Jason, I hope that answers your question. And if you have any SEO queries as well in the future webinars, because we're gonna go dive deep into SEO and all about technical SEO, why Google Tag Manager, etc. So guys, I hope that answers your question. And if you have any further more questions, you can always reach out to us. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining in today's webinar. Thank you, Simeon, for the wonderful presentation regarding Google Analytics and how you can use Google Analytics to grow your business. And any last words that you want to add, Simeon, before we quit this presentation?
Yeah, thank you a lot for the attention and for everyone. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me or PitchGround. So
you can always tag Simeon in the group, and you can always tag me. I'll tag Simeon, and he's ready to answer any question. So Simeon will be active in the group, asking more feature requests from you guys, and you guys get to decide how Voxpower gets shaped. So guys, do vote for your favorite features in the comment section down below when Simeon posts in the group. And thank you so much for joining this webinar. Have a great day for the people joining in from the US, Canada regions. and have a great evening for the people joining in from other regions than US and Canada. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll see you in our next webinars.